For potential early year students listening, what resources can you list off? So co-op clubs, I'll let you go on from there.
I think in terms of resources, there's definitely co-op within kin, but there are other ways to get involved in terms of finding jobs, like a
Right.
work-learn position at UBC, which is really great if students don't know about that.
Yeah.
Another great thing you mentioned was clubs. We have clubs days at UBC, especially on the very first day. There's just like a
Right.
whole lineup of them.
Yeah.
Another really great support system, I guess, is the KUS itself. And we have KPAC, which is Kin Peer Academic Coaching,
Yeah.
as well as a brand new Campus Connections program, which essentially pairs older students with first year students and helps them with that transition. And then, of course, Kin Advising is a really great support system because they really help you with your courses and your
Right.
academics. But there are so many different resources on campus that students can turn to that I'm sure you can find something for anything.
Gotcha. Were you a part of the mentor program at all?
Yeah, so someone came up to me and wanted to run it last year, and so we
Okay.
put it forth, and it was its first year in September when I wasn't the president. So
Okay, so it's relatively
yeah,
new.
it's brand new.
Okay, that's awesome though. That's you kind of got to jumpstart that for any of the students that are in their third and fourth year that are considering, should I do a master's? Do I want to go into med school? But I just don't have enough experience, which is a very common case for so many people.
Mhm.
What would you say? Because I know a lot of people will think, I'll just graduate and I'll get the experience later. What opportunities would you tell them to really take advantage of while you're in school?
I think it's never too late to try something. And especially with the KIN program at UBC, they've just established some new directed studies, which allows students to do some more research while they're in their undergrad.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of worry that when you're in your fourth year, you're kind of done and there's not much else. However, that's not the case. You can keep
Right.
doing whatever you want to do, including volunteering and work, even when you're done. So I think it's just being open to new opportunities and not being afraid to just go after them is what I would say in your third and fourth year.
Looking back at your undergrad career in hindsight, was there anything that you wish you did during your undergrad that you think would have helped you on your career track right now?
I think personally speaking, taking a greater variety of courses, I
Mhm.
was always very stuck on doing medicine and kind of going into the health sciences, which is still what I want to do. But
Right.
I think being able to take courses in different realms and different faculties really gives you a better understanding of what your true passions are.
Right.
And so looking back, I did 90% in kin and the other like 10% were all science classes. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Interesting. So do more electives.
Yeah, exactly.
On a general high level, do you have any other tips for UBC students studying kin right now that are looking to get in the healthcare field?
I think that they should just not be afraid to reach out to professors if they
Hmm.
see an opportunity. I think it's always scary for any student,
Yeah.
but the nice thing about Kin is it's been such a great community where everyone has been so welcoming, including the
Right.
profs. So I would say don't ever hesitate. If you have a question or
For
if you want to
sure.
work with them, just reach out to them.
Gotcha. So I think that's just a very undervalued, amazing tidbit right there. I know going back, I think I started becoming just overall just more successful and getting to know people. And even in my courses, the more I talk to professors, and I think, especially in your first and second year, you're nervous. Like you're in a classroom of hundreds of people. Who talks to the professor? Who actually goes to the office hours? But then you realize the people that do go to office hours, they're doing better. They're getting more connected. And then can you speak to one final thing, which is, I know you said, when you were applying to med programs, there are obviously some that you didn't get into in Canada that you're potentially hoping for. When you got the letter that said you weren't accepted, how did you overcome that hurdle and really focus in on getting that MSc and then leaving these doors open in the future and not just giving up on it?
Yeah. It was really hard in the beginning. I'm not going to sugarcoat that
Yeah.
because this is something that I've worked my entire life for. But I think with time and speaking with different professors and speaking with the exercise physiologist at Children's Hospital, who really helped me understand that there is so much out there and
Right.
that you can really put your passions into very different, types of careers,
Right.
and that medicine is not the only way for me to do what I love.
Yeah.
And I think having those conversations with those people and having the support of my family altogether, I overcame that. And I was like, you know what? There are so many other things that I could do that I could love that I don't even know are out there.
For sure. I think just to expand on that, a lot of people, not only in the healthcare field, especially in the business field where it's, I have to work for this company or I have to work in this profession or else I'm a failure. I think it's a little exaggerated, but that is really the mindset of a lot of, students. And, for anyone listening to this, when you look at that profession, that career, one part, some people end up getting it and they realize they absolutely hate it
Yeah.
or potentially hate it down the road. It really didn't fulfill them. So it's a really good idea to figure out what your values and what your passions are. Like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, at its core, if your plan A doesn't work, how can you still fulfill those passions and values and still enjoy what you're doing, but not necessarily in that position? How can you find it in something else? And it's absolutely fantastic that you found, and you research on the projects and the people you're working with. It's so interesting that you went that route. You overcame those hurdles, and honestly, it's great to hear that you have a great support system getting over that, because I know a lot of people get crushed when their plan A doesn't happen for them, and it's just a struggle to think of what's next, especially when you're graduated. You're like, oh yeah, you have all the people asking me,
what's next?
What's next? Like, where are you going to work? Are you going to move out soon? Like,
Yeah.
all those questions.